Hello. We talked before. I had made a video a while back about disaster dates and how I call them disaster dates. It's a poignant date during which you found something out that you always knew was true, that you discovered something, that you had a big blowout, a big fight, a lot of crying. It's a dramatic, and when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you have a list of them. Am I right? Oh yeah, a list of them. What I've learned is now that we're making another trip around the sun, and we're in 2021 and not 2020 anymore, or 2019, or as you make each trip around the sun, you come upon those anniversary dates of those disaster dates. It's happening to me right now, right? So as you pass certain things, certain landmarks, you remember, ooh, last year on this date, this happened. Or last year, this was the date that I found that out. Or last year, this was okay. When you're coming upon these anniversary dates of disasters with your narcissist, you could be in one of three places, yes? You could still be with your narcissist, experiencing the anniversary of that disaster date. You could be alone now if you've left your narcissist. And you could be with somebody else if you've left your narcissist and moved on already with somebody else. Either way, those anniversary dates are going to come up, and you will remember what happened to you on June 27th or September 18th or May 12th or whatever date it is. You are going to remember, wow, that happened on this date. I have found, and I would like you to be in the same position, every single time one of those dates comes up now, I cringe. I'm past, way past even the concept of feeling sadness or, oh, I'm remiss, or that was a nice day until it blew up, or, oh, that memory was fun. I am so far past feeling any kind of sadness for any time spent together that is no longer here that I can't even tell you how far past it I am. I'm where I cringe at the dates. And I'd like you to look at yours and just think of it. Comparatively, think of it. Think of now where you are versus a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. However long your relationship lasted, you have your own set of anniversary disaster dates. And I'm telling you right now, I absolutely love the fact that they are anniversary dates of old. They are no longer, I'm not going to experience that ever again. It's gone. I ended it. So it's a year old, or the memory's 2 years old, or in your case, it might be 5 years old. Well, if you're landing on that date, I want you to revel in the fact if you cringe. I love the fact that I cringe because it shows me comparatively where I am now versus then. And you want to look at your progress if you've made some. And now you might say, well, I'm feeling a little left out on this video, Renee, because I haven't left him and I'm still in it. Okay. If you're still in it and you have an anniversary date coming up and you're like, ugh, I remember last year on May 24th, it was awful. I can't help thinking about it. Here we come again. Well, do you want a repeat of May 24th? You can choose to not engage and not have another repeat of it. If you cannot muster the strength, clarity, finances, circumstances, whatever, to leave your narcissist, and you're making another trip around the sun, and you're coming upon dates that in prior years were disaster dates, and you know it, and you feel it, and he knows it, and she knows it, and whoever, you can make your life different and say, well, my God, I do feel I've made some progress in this year, and I can certainly not put myself in the same painful kind of day that I had a year ago. So when you look at it comparatively, I want you to see progress in yourself. Well, I've had no progress, Renee. I'm still with the person. It doesn't mean you didn't build up strength inside you. It doesn't mean that you're not light years away from where you were last year. If you are sitting there in your strength saying, wow, I can't believe I let that happen last year. I would never allow that now. then you've made progress. Now, you can also gain strength from the fact that if you're saying, I'm just picking May 24th, if last May 24th, such and such a disaster happened, and you feel May 24th is up and coming, and here it comes, and I don't want to experience that same disaster again, I refuse ever again, but that date was of particular note because this and this happened. Gain strength from that. What are you going to do to not let that kind of day happen to you ever again? I will never, ever allow those things to happen to me ever again. I hope, right? We're all human. We're all human. I mean, there are certain charmers that may come in and out of our life, and we might not recognize them, and it may happen to some of us again. I'm hoping I'll catch on pretty fast. And when I have each date that comes up, I gain more and more strength from it. With every date that comes up, I think to myself, wow, I've made a lot of progress. Because guess what? I lived. It's a year later, and I lived through it. I did it. Now, last year, that date, we'll just keep metaphorically using May 24th, and it'll represent a disaster date for any one of us and what we may have in mind. You think about last year's May 24th to this year's May 24th, and you can make a different date for you to remember on that day. Part of the reason, one of the reasons, and I think I mentioned this before, that I left my narcissist is because I didn't want any more dates. He claimed enough disaster dates in my calendar. I don't want any more disaster dates. I didn't want to give him one more bit of control over me, and I said nope. So now the metaphorical May 24th that we're using, that's going to come up. I'm going to have a glorious day and make that date, change it. If that's the date that you found out he was cheating on you, or you caught him doing something, or you change it. Have a celebratory day with your children. Have a celebratory day with a friend. Go and get yourself a new hairdo. Go and have lunch with your parents. Go do something that you can mark that occasion and make it be a new date. A new anniversary of a new thing. New thing. Take back control of that date. That's what I've done with every single disaster date. They no longer belong to him. I will no longer wallow if a certain date comes around. I will not do it. I will take that date and I will change it around. So whereas, June 27th, May 24th, whatever the date is, may be an anniversary of a certain thing that you found out, you bet your sweet bippy I'm going to make it that it's going to be now going forward the date that I discovered this. Or did that. You see what I'm saying? Take back those dates because they make you cringe if you're anything like me. And I was like, I'm not going to come upon any date out of 365 days a year. That's what we all get. I will not allow him, or maybe in your case it's a her, I will not allow him to own one day of my 365. No way. And that's a choice we can make, right? I'm not going to allow him to own one date. I'm not going to allow. Now, the first trip around the sun, it's natural. As they're coming up, you're thinking, wow, last year at this time. Doesn't mean you have to think that next year, and it doesn't mean you have to think that all damn day on that particular date. Take it back. Travel. Get a new job. Do something that you've always wanted to do and turn that date around. Instead of it being the date that you found that out, now it's going to be, oh, this is the anniversary date. Next year it's going to be, oh, on May 24th, I took my parents to lunch at that wonderful place and they loved it. We're going to do that every year on that date. You can make it whatever you want, but it's about turning your life around. And it doesn't matter if you're still with your narcissist. I even mean if you're still with your narcissist. 365 days a year are yours. 365 days a year are theirs. They can spend their days however they want in their debauchery of a lifestyle that will get them nowhere fast. You do not have to go down the drain with them and spend time upset over things that happened in the past. You're not going to change them anyway. You're not going to get through to them. You're never going to talk to them enough that you are satisfied with anything that comes out of their mouth. Never. You're never going to get any closure on it. You're never going to get any kind of understanding as to why they did this to you. It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So what we do is we go forward and we take back control of those dates. Allow yourself to cringe at where you were last year and revel in the place you are this year, which I hope is a better place. If you are listening to any videos on this topic, which if you're watching this, you are, allow that education to penetrate so that next year you can be around the trip, another trip around the sun, and even be in a better place. You can gain strength with every single date that comes. Pardon me. Allow yourself to cringe 100%. Allow that. Because I do. I remember the last year and I go, oh my God, I can't believe I allowed that. Or I can't believe I let that happen. Or I can't believe I handled it that way. And now I realize I would handle it different. I wouldn't let that happen. And I would be gone. On incident number 1. I'd like to think I would be gone. So I'm taking all these dates back. These dates are mine. Don't let them have one moment of your memory and make it bad. Don't dread your own birthday because he ruined it last year. Don't dread Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter, Christmas, Rosh Hashanah. I don't care what it is. If he ruined it, then take it back. And there are things you can do. There are things you can do. So I want you to embrace the cringe that you feel when you look back on those anniversaries of those disaster dates. I want you to feel that cringe and then flip it around. Okay, what am I going to do today to make it not a cringe-worthy day? There's a lot of things you love doing. Or maybe something that you've always wanted to do and you never did. Skydiving's always like on people's bucket lists. It's not on mine. Oh, heck no. But if that's, go skydiving. That'll be the date you went skydiving. Change the date. So it means something wonderful for you going forward. Well, I can't go skydiving, Renee. Well, then call an old lost uncle. Call an old lost friend. Take a trip. I don't know, but figure it out because we have to take control back of all of the dates in our year. They're ours. I really feel possessive about those. I'm not going to allow anyone to make any one of the 365 days in the year be horrible for me. Especially if they're not in your life anymore. They're going to have that control. Oh, no, I don't think so. No. No. Take them back. Okay. Little empowerment.